What's up, people? One Up Punch here. Picked this game for about $10 on Steam called Netherguild, and they have a demo on the store page, I think currently, because I put about maybe 5 or 6 hours into it, decided what the hell, might as well buy the game since it was $10. But what is Netherguild? Essentially, this game is like a dungeon crawler with roguelike elements, and when you start off the game, they talk to you about the tutorial, how to play the game, and it's not really like a video, mostly just like a bunch of text you have to read. So if you're illiterate, I do apologize, but if not, then you should be good to go. And when you start off the game, you get your party that you can pick from 4 different characters. They could be archers, they could be rogues, knights, and so on. And you're going off and doing these dungeons and seeing how far you can go without dying. Essentially, when all the characters die, the game is over and you have to start over with a brand new party. But when you do go and mess around the different dungeons, highly recommend checking out the different spots on the town. For example, in the town, you can go and get food, you can get a bonfire, and the bonfire allows you to eat your food and heal your character. I don't know if there are characters you can have that might heal you normally, but if we're talking about the default, it would be from going to the bonfire, eating, and healing that way so that you can go and continue on into the dungeon. When you get into combat, they'll do an initiative roll to where the higher the roll, that character will go first, and then so on. And they'll have the timeline on the right-hand side of the screen that shows who goes first or who goes next and whatever the character you're currently playing as. For example, they also have the movement for how far you can go with that character. For example, mine was 5, and then after that you can do an attack or you can have another action. They have 2 different types of skills that you start with. For example, the knight has a slash and a stun for his shield bash, and that will stun a character for a single turn. And if he also has to do a standard attack, which would be anything that's adjacent to him, he could do a 4 damage strike. Then you have the rogue that does bleeding damage, and you can stack, or technically not stack it, but it lasts longer. They say something in the tutorial about it doesn't necessarily do more bleed damage, but it lasts longer. Rather than going for 3 turns, it goes to 5 turns if you keep hitting them with it. And I did like, I mean, again, the combat's pretty fun because it's not just like super stylish. It's just you going around tactically trying to kill stuff with whatever character skills you have. And they do have skill trees when you level up. And you could choose between, I think, like 3 different skills that are on that specific character. But essentially what you're trying to do in this game is that you're trying to go in the dungeon, get as much loot as you possibly can, go as far as you can without dying, and then leaving while doing quests or missions that would normally be hard to do. And then you can go ahead and upgrade different buildings like your guild hall, your marketplace, and that'll get you more items, probably even higher tiered units, and being able to get more stuff from the marketplace. And I do like that function, or rather that gameplay mechanic of not just going in there and doing a dungeon to see how far you can go with that specific party, but also being able to upgrade your buildings, get weapons that are higher tier, and even more powerful spells or even more powerful abilities for your character, so that when you do fight the other bosses or other enemies that are tougher, then you'll be able to obviously prepare for it and then fight them off easier. That being said, for $10, this game does have a decent amount of content. From not only going down inside the dungeons to see how far you go before you die or even beat all the bosses / enemies in the game, but also being able to upgrade your different buildings, being able to get higher tier stuff, and also being able to get as many skills that are more powerful later on down the road. Because as a skill tree, when you do level up your character, whichever one it is, be the knight, the archer, it'll show 3 skills you could choose from. Only 1 can be chosen, and then the next tier after that, and the next tier after that. They did release an update, I think, that they're going to be adding more skills for the different characters in the game. And no, I didn't really check the patch notes too much when they added that specific update that was only like a couple days ago, because it was like a couple of skills, like 3 or 4 of them that were like something to do with the archer, the knight, and maybe something to do with the rogue. But when you see the skill tree here, there's not a whole lot of skills. Then again, the game is early access, so they'll probably add more later on, and it's at least a decent start for you to choose from, choosing between 1 of the 3 first, or 2 at the middle, and then 3 at the bottom. Like I said earlier, if people wanted to give this game a shot, there should be a demo on there, and if there isn't, it's still $10 and $9.99 on Steam, and I still recommend people playing it. I put maybe about 4 or 5 hours into the game, and I still get on and play every once in a while. and I do like the combat. I like the whole aesthetic. I love the idea of being able to upgrade my buildings and having more items and stuff to choose from. So it's a very fun game to play if people want to give it a shot. But that being said, I've been One Nut Punched, and this has been another video. Thanks for watching as per the usual. And I got a couple more videos on the line that I'm checking out right now. For example, I picked up Undeadly, and I'm also trying another game called Fountain of Youth Survivor. But yeah, this has been Netherguild, and I've been Punch. Thanks for watching again. I'll see y'all later.